The Ravens have fallen behind the Pats, the Titans, and the Chiefs, who are all 9-4 after Week 14. And so they lost to the Browns, right, without Lamar Jackson. And the Bengals failed to capitalize on it by losing to the 49ers in overtime. The Ravens still lead the division, yes, and remain favorites, yes, to win it at plus 165. But since we're overreacting here, the injuries are just too much to overcome, and Baltimore will miss the playoffs, Pearce. Is that an overreaction?
No, I've been saying this for weeks, and I think now people are probably coming along to my side that this isn't an overreaction anymore. It really, if you look at the beginning of the season, they lost an offensive lineman coming in. They lost their 2-star running backs and also lost Ingram coming in. And, they win a couple nail biters and get these lucky wins at the beginning of the season, and it misleads people, and people think that, oh, well, this Ravens team is good. Well, regression has come. It's come hard. And on top of that, yeah, they've got even more injuries. So even before the latest, slate of injuries, they weren't a very good team. They've got a pretty tough schedule moving forward. In their defense, though, there aren't very many good teams in the AFC. Suddenly, the Titans are now back into the conversation after an unremarkable win yesterday against Jacksonville for being one of the better teams in the AFC. I don't like this Baltimore team. They could easily go 0-4 to close the season.
Yeah, they really could. I'm looking at their schedule now here, Jules. Ravens have 2 brutal home games left against elite NFC opponents. That's going to be the Packers and the Rams. They also have to try to avenge that home loss to Cincinnati and a road loss to Pittsburgh here. So is it an overreaction in your eyes to say that the Ravens could just miss the playoffs?
I mean, at where we are now, they certainly could miss it. And they have a really tough schedule remaining. And of course, there's a reason it's off the board right now. Lamar Jackson didn't return with an ankle injury on Sunday, which if it's Tyler Huntley down the stretch going against 2 playoff contenders, divisional playoff contenders in the AFC, and 2 NFC contenders to win the entire conference, it's probably not going to go very well. So yeah, I'll go against everything Ravens right now, especially with Jackson's status. I think the better bet for this division that is on the board, you can get Cleveland at even money just to make the playoffs. We're not even talking division. So they're 6-point favorites at home on Saturday against the Raiders. They have a similar schedule to close things out to Baltimore in the games after that. But that includes either overtaking Baltimore for the division or just getting one of those wild card spots. I think the Browns to kind of rally late at even money to make the playoffs is the way to go.
I mean, Geoff, 2-2, maybe looking like the best case finishing scenario for Baltimore, a 10-7 final record here.
Yeah, absolute best case, man. I mean, probably no Lamar Jackson next week versus the Packers. That's a loss. Yeah, I think it really comes down to the week after that. The Ravens season is going to be on the line in week 16 against the Bengals. I mean, I think that's it, because after the Bengals, they play the Rams. And then they got the Steelers at home to finish off. That's fine. But if you go 0-3 versus the Packers, Bengals, and Rams, I mean, that's probably it. And the Bengals will also obviously have them twice for the division. So I think it's all going to come down to that game, because I don't see them eking out next week, especially even if Lamar plays, not going to be 100%. Pearce and I have said this about the Ravens all year. They are a team getting by with the special abilities of 2 players, Justin Tucker and Lamar Jackson. And now Lamar Jackson isn't going to be at 100% down the stretch. This is a team you fade 100%. I'd wait and as soon as that thing gets back on the board to make the playoffs, I'd personally be betting it the other way.